Viewer discretion is advised.
But will be completely ignored.
Spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good.
Like TV from other dimensions has a somewhat looser feel to it. Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Asylum. As you can tell, you might be just as confused as I am, because it's just me here right now. I'm trying to find where Eric went. I've been reaching out to him. I can't get in contact with him. I don't know if he's around, but until he somehow finds his way out of the woodworks, I guess you're going to have to deal with just me. If anyone knows how to get in contact with him, please do. Hello? Is that him?
You're my new doctor.
Is anyone else seeing this?
Will you calm down? We had this discussion during the week. He's good at what he does. You know what? And see, my friend. I know. It is a time. You spent 3 years. I needed to give them me. What do they want you for? You know they love me more. EJ, Joker, this is not the time. What? Soon enough. Hi. Had a bit of a problem.
You good?
I think the fans remember what happened last week.
But are you good?
Somebody's just getting a little antsy. You know, once in a great while, he kind of wants to come play, and sometimes I gotta give him a fucking talking to.
I mean, we are approaching that time of year. Allergy
Yeah,
season.
that's when he gets his most antsy.
He really hates allergy season, you know?
Don't even get me started on that bullshit. But folks, thank you for tuning into the Wrestling Asylum. As always, Nick Nekro. I'm your host, EJ. Do us the biggest favor in the world. Like, share, subscribe, stay notified. Telegram, Baby Mama, Google Plus, your sister's ass, the Pony Express. What can Brown do for you? FedEx, go fuck yourself. And Post Office, bite me. Also, shout out to OTTR Network for always giving you the latest. Blackheart and the crew, always repping, you know this. And our good new partnership with the Hardcore Sports Network. Shout out to Mitch and his gang. And if you missed Friday night, the Mob Men talking about going into both All Out and Wrestlepalooza, what the fuck were you thinking? And make sure, don't forget, check out the link tree. That's right, Linktree / Off the Top Ropes podcast. Here's where you can find the links to the latest episodes, our merch, and stay up with the latest content, including yours truly, Blackheart's Angels, and the Mob Men on Fridays. And apparently Nick has gone into Dreamland mode for about half a second, going, holy shit, that's a lot, which is okay. But yesterday, we had no Blackheart's Angels. Nick, did that feel weird to you?
It felt like a segment of the whole week was just taken out.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Like, we know why, though. How could you do a show when 2 pay-per-views are going head-to-head? I mean, I'm not wrong. But, of course, we got to finish paying the bill, but we're going to dive into that momentarily. Do us all the biggest favor. We got our brand ambassadors, so show them some love while you're at it. That is W Energy, all the flavors you could ever dream of to kick the coffee habit. 10% off with the promo code OTTR Mob. Check them out. Make sure you do. You'll be glad you did. And we are into that season, as Nick said. Mr. Nekro, Dream Alive University, hoodies, sweatshirts, hats. You know the rap sheet. And ladies looking good, too. 15% off with the promo code at Akazi Clothing. They got some dope merch. I'm looking at getting some for the holiday season. And make sure 15% off Habits 365. I checked out some of their hats. If you're a hat guy like me, you'll be glad you checked them out. And if you're still kicking the coffee habit, swiftenergy.gg, 10% off with promo code OTTR Mob. They got some cool flavors as well. And but also, do not forget, you got to show the Pod Mob some love. That's bonfirestore.com/store/off the top ropes network. We got hoodies, we got tanks, we got flip-flops, we got coffee mugs. I mean, good Lord almighty, the merch. Hey, you got the Podman Mob, you got the Black Hearts Angels, and you got me. That's right. I also have merch too. And do not ever forget to show us some love. It helps keep the lights on in my beautiful abode. And if you like the new logo, comp that one. There's some cool colors, purple, green. I'm hoping for orange and red at some point. But don't also forget classic black. And we have the original merch through season 6. But Nick,
6.
Last season. Before we get underway, I want to give a special shout out to a friend of mine, Brandy, who will be watching us late yesterday. And we talked about this before we went live on the program. She had some personal issues which caused her to seek mental health help. So if you're in a place where you feel like you need it, go get it. There's no shame. I deal with it. We all do. But Brandy, I know you're watching. Get better soon. Get healthy. I know you're going through some shit. But as a fellow wrestling fan, you'll kick out at 2. You've always kicked out at 2. I've known you 2 years. I've seen you go through some shit. You've kicked out, so I love you, sweetheart. So with that being said, Nick, a lot happened this week. But we got to rewind because your all-time favorite promotion had the most shocking return in a decade.
GCW? I'm kidding.
I'll give you a hint. Mister! That's right. In 9 years, Mr. Kennedy has returned to TNA. And it was shocking because we got our boy Mitch in the chat from Hardcore Sports. What's up, Mitch? Good to see you, my friend. Mr. Kennedy, as you are all well aware, made an impact, pun not intended, in TNA. Won the world title a few times. Was with the Aces and Eights. Beat Bully Ray's ass a bunch. But during his return, he confronted Frankie Kazarian and would get jumped and have the unlikeliest ally to make the save. Was this a one-off? Or is TNA's resident asshole back? Nick, your thoughts?
To be honest, I'll just take it. It could be either. It's just the fact that I got to hear Mr. Not Kennedy. But it's okay. I'll take it. I got to hear the Mr. part at least, so I got half of it. I'll take it. He can go full-time. I don't know if he wants to go full-time. He's been out for a long time, and he said for a while that he had zero interest going back into the ring full-time. But would I love to see it? Sure. Sure.
I will too. I will say this as one of my beloved guard dogs comes to say hi. Hello, baby. My little weenie. She's only a year. She's my little brat, but I love her. S7EP. Here's what I will say about it. I heard as well that he did not want to come back full time. I think he might do it.
I hope he does. Love to see it.
I would too. Here's why I think it may or may not happen. 2 things. We don't know the full status with his body. We don't. I'm going to be honest. I was shocked, like literally shocked, when I heard that over the speakers. Now, I know that he is, in fact, got his own promotion, retired. You know the deal.
Training people.
Yep, of course. Here's my concern. All right. Just me. I do think, and again, this is just my opinion. I do think, depending on the severity of what his body went through during his career, I kind of have to agree with you. It's going to be iffy. You know what I'm saying? It's
absolutely. But you're a wrestling historian, so maybe you can help me out. My brain is like churning, trying to remember. It's been so long since not TNA, well, that too, but it's been so long since he was in WWE. I don't even remember what his finisher was.
They called it the mic check.
What kind of move was it?
It's almost like the blunt force trauma. There was some difference to it. I will say that. I don't remember if it was face plant move or if it was into a back body per se. I do know it was enormously effective. Especially
I really don't remember.
WE, and we'll mention a little bit about well, everybody gonna find out second half of the program. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I want people to go, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
Overall, to me, he got totally miscast with WWE as far as his career there. He gets the Money in the Bank, which I was waiting for. Then he does a small injury to his shoulder that ain't even going to take a few months. And they take the briefcase off him, and then he goes into mid to low card, and I'm going, you've shit the bed. And then we have the infamous thing with Cena and Randy Orton, and we all know how that ended. Hey, welcome, welcome. And look who's in the house. It's the boss, man. Blackheart. Showing the love. Good to see you, boss. But in all honesty, his run in TNA was way better.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a case with a lot of people.
Yeah. I will say this, and I've always wanted to ask somebody this and their thoughts. Do you think he was able, in a way, even though he left 9 years ago, he was able to kind of be a bit of a guiding light to get everybody in terms of the company back on track?
What, within the 9 years that he was gone?
No, before he left. Remember
Before
how
he left.
going through the whole company was dealing with shit? Like the early moments of dark times.
Was he there before, during, or after that whole like Dixie Carter and Hulk Hogan fiasco? Because I don't remember that.
Brought in when that happened.
You got brought in when that happened?
Remember Genesis 2010 when they revealed him. So the other thing is he was there through the whole Aces and Eights storyline.
It's not, it went on forever.
Yeah, it felt like it. He dealt with the Immortal storyline. There were different things that he captured, got his hands on and made a go of it. He turned it into the best he could, which I was happy with. I think what it was is right around the time we got close to the dark times for TNA. Do you think had he not left, he could have found a way to navigate it? Because there was some dark.
Yeah, but even even just having this discussion just makes me wish that we got to, and we'll get into it later. I just wish he didn't get kicked out of WWE. I really do. He was one of my favorites. And the funny thing about me even saying that was like I didn't care much about his in-ring. It was really just, which he was good. It was really just all the in-ring like mic skills. The entrance got me. So like the more I think about it, it's like he definitely did better in TNA, but Mr. Anderson just doesn't roll off the tongue as easy to me, or it doesn't sound as good to the ear to me as Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy.
Okay.
Always do it 2 times.
Yep.
Yeet. Yeah.
Enough said, folks. I mean, what can't be said? I hope it's one last run so his kids get to see him do it.
Oh, the Goldberg method.
Well, not necessarily the Goldberg method. I think in part, and he and Hornswoggle, which we'll be diving into in the second half of the program, are close friends, and even he has said over the years, there is one thing Kennedy would love to do. Would let his kids see him at least, even if it was short term, he didn't give a shit. Let his kids see what he used to do. And there are some talent that don't do it because their bodies just can't. Goldberg was able to for Gage. I think Kennedy in his own right should have it. I'm not saying we're comparing apples to oranges, but at the same time, it's you got to. You got to. So that's my thing. Overall, I think it's a welcome addition. You get a guy that's been in the business. I think some of the young talent with TNA are going to get the chance to pick the brain from this guy and say, okay, what can I learn from him? I don't think he's there to steal a spot. I don't see them putting a belt on him unless they have a situation where they need to get somebody severely over and there's just members of the roster that are in key major storylines that can't do it, and we need somebody with name recognition to build this motherfucker. Kind of like Undertaker and whatnot, if that makes sense. Do you agree with me on that one, Nekro?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. So in closing for this, out of 10, what would you say is the best? How would you rate his appearance? How do you think they did?
I mean, it was a crazy return. It wasn't the wildest return I've ever seen. That would still probably go to either CM Punk or Edge.
Agreed.
Maybe even Daniel Bryan, to be honest.
Yep. I concur.
I'd give it like a solid, like out of 10, like a solid 7.2.
I could agree with that. I mean, mine would be a 7. So, I mean, right around there, I can dig it. But
the Mr. part really gets me, you know. So he gets that extra 0.2.
The next thing we got to talk about, you know, we had this counter programming yesterday. Hey, WCW, how'd that work out, you bastards? So yesterday, we had a hell of an all-out live at Scotiabank in Toronto. And I'm going to give you the 411 on the matches, and then we'll go over the card and get both Nekro's take and yours truly. So let's get to it, shall we? Yesterday, Toronto all out. And yes, I said predictions because we were going to predict some things, but nobody could have expected what we got. But of course, the rematch a lot of fans wanted to see, the pure champion Shibata against Daniel Garcia in the tailgate brawl before the main card. The workhorsemen facing members of the Ops, Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. Of course, it was also the pre-show being live on TNT, and then the main card, FTR looked to try and shut up Edge and Christian, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, because they're butthurt. in a fatal four-way for the tag team titles in the ladder match. Brodito, Young Bucks, Jet Speed, Josh Alexander, and the others. And Big Bill, was he going to get shut up by a returning badass Eddie Kingston?
Why does he look scared?
And guess what? He's back. The badass, violent Mark Briscoe brought back the dark side against MJF. And then in a triple threat, Takeshita, Okada, and Dorada challenging to crown your unified champion. Darby Allin looked to finally shut down Jon Moxley and the Death Riders in a coffin match, promising some violence. Of course, Miss 10 Belts, yawn. Mercedes Moné would defend against Riho for the TBS title, and Ricochet and the Gates of Agony looking to get revenge on the Hurt Syndicate MVP Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. And then, well, fatal four-way, Timeless Tony Storm defended against Chris Statler, Thekla, and Jamie Hayter in a fatal four-way women's match. And of course, again, I had to put it up there a second time because we would find out it was a table and tax match. Who knew? Oh! Had to put it in twice. And then our main event would be Kyle Fletcher challenging Hangman Page with the stipulation if the Don Callis family interfered, he would be stripped of the TNT Championship. And yeah, we're going to talk about that in the second half of the program, boss. Wrestlepalooza was asked. So now, I'm going to go through the kickoff and give the results and the main card. Because there was a match that did not get announced till it was too late. I did not hear about it until we were on the kickoff show. Ooh.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
Well, the shoe fits. So I'm going to go down the card and give the results. And then we'll dive into it. So for the kickoff show that was also broadcasted for free on TNT, which I was kind of impressed with, Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe would defeat the Workhorsemen, doing what they so well are known to do. Daniel Garcia, with help from Marina Shafir, now a member of the Death Riders, would pick up the W in this rubber match against Shibata. The Paragon would defeat the Frat House, Al Graham, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. And then in an 8 women's tag, Willow Nightingale, Mina Shafir, Harley Cameron, and Queen Aminata would defeat the team of Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Penelope Ford, and Megan Bain. In our main card, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage would defeat FTR, but the bald, short, and can't get no bitches, Stokely Hathaway, would end up eating a spear from Mrs. Copeland, who would in turn end up eating a spiked pile driver with a beaten down Christian Cage and handcuffed to the ropes, Adam Copeland, unable to stop him. And then Big Bill, well, he thought he could run his mouth, and the king, the Mad King, would return to a roar and defeat the big botch bastard. After the match, Big Bill and his partner Shane would go into a 2-on-1 attack, leading to the signal and the arrival of Hook. Take care of some business. Mark Briscoe would put MJF through a violent, bloody match in a thumbtacks and tables match, with Mark Briscoe ending up putting the better in you and you know it, mouth running stick sucker, according to Tony Schiavone, MJF out of his misery. We'll see what happens there. Ricochet and the Gates of Agony shocked everybody, defeating the Hurt Syndicate in what could only be described to me as we'll get into that in a minute. And then Miss Mercedes Moné, Miss Piss Me Off, Miss Bathroom Break.
You ain't shit.
Stephen A. Smith has something he wants to say about Mercedes Moné, Nick. I think it's something like this.
They are trash. Horrible.
She would pick up the victory over Riho. And, well, as I said, bathroom break. Dave says, I'm glad Ricochet are giving the Hurt Syndicate problems. Ah, okay. Watching from Cider Hill, Texas. I'm in Dallas. Welcome, my friend. Nice to have a fellow Texan in a way. In the triple threat for the Unified Championship, Kazuchika Okada would defend it and retain against Takeshita and Mascara Dorada. But it was after the match where Takeshita felt, well, Nick, let's face it, a little frustrated here. Being unable to defeat his fellow Don Callis family member. And then in the match where Bryan Danielson swore he would not get involved no matter what, and promised that things were going to happen. But above all, Darby made a promise to Daniel, to Bryan Danielson, and he delivered. In the coffin match, which saw the shocking return of a short-haired British bastard Pac coming to the aid of his leader, Jon Moxley, in aiding and defeating Darby Allin in a coffin match. But before his return, well, let's just say Bryan decided to make sure Darby didn't get to keep his word, slid him a AEW hardcore logoed gym bag with a nice big old plastic bag to shove over a bloody Moxley's face to stick it up his ass for what he did last year to Bryan Danielson to get a 9-month grip of locking the WWE. EJ, shut the fuck up. Locking away the All Elite Wrestling World Championship. Nekro, why do you look so sad, according to Blackheart?
Fucking lack of sleep.
It happens, brother.
Working
But
doubles every day for the last 2 weeks.
Hey, we go hard up in here. We going hard. We going hard.
What I'm talking about? That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Also, I'm just sad that the idea of Big Bill still wrestling in 2025.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
Because he's Big Bill.
Well,
I'm sorry, he's nothing without Enzo. He needs his little yapper dog, man.
Oh, shucky ducky.
Got your ass.
Even though Enzo can't wrestle for shit. They needed each other. They were two halves of a good wrestler together.
Ouch. Well, after the match, we would get a moment in the back where Darby also kept a secondary promise. Darby laid in the coffin as Mox was preparing to deal with it himself, telling the rest of the Death Riders to take off. But as Mox opened the casket, steel pipe to the throat, and, well, let's just say for all intents and purposes, Mox got set on fire.
It's always something with this fucking promotion, I swear to God.
Oh, you do. Golden rule: do not take the name of Jay Briscoe in vain. You will get your ass kicked. No doubt about it. But it was another key moment, and I know Mitch is probably going to get pissed at this. But as Mark Briscoe was celebrating with the Paragon, Kyle O'Reilly was on the phone. And Mark was issuing a challenge to any of the members of the Don Callis family. Damn! I think Stephen A. Smith has, before Stephen A. Smith speaks, I think we need to know, Big Bill, Enzo.
I'm offended when people dismiss me as a hater. I don't like that term.
Be offended.
Well, like I said, they're two halves of a good wrestler here.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's actually no, not even, because Big Bill, I was gonna say Enzo has the mouth, Big Bill has the stature.
Nice.
And again, not really the wrestling capability, but the stature, I guess.
Right. Stephen A. Smith wanted to chime in. He had something he wanted to say about them.
They are trash. Horrible.
Enough
Like
said.
Enzo, though.
But it was in the closing moments of that segment where fans got a shocking announcement. Kyle O'Reilly was on the phone with a fellow member, and while somebody's getting freshly squeezed on Wednesday, could it be Orange Cassidy will return?
Pockets?
We'll see. I hope so. And then, in one of the most shocking title changes of the night, no one anticipated it, even though, fuck you, Wheeler Yuta, you piece of shit, leave Chris Statlander alone, you ugly looking trash bag. Ho! Timeless Tony Storm would defend against Thekla, Chris Statlander, and Jamie Hayter, but was Chris Statlander with the seatbelt pin shocking the entire arena and becoming the new AEW Women's World Champion. The OG Day One member of the roster finally picked up the one thing that had eluded her thus far in her time with the AEW promotion, the Women's World Championship. She can now claim she is the only one on the roster to have held both the TBS title and is now world champion. So, Chris Statlander, bellissima, my dear. And next time, just knock Wheeler Yuta in the balls. Oh, wait, he'd have to find him first. And then, fatal four-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Brody King, and Bandito retained against Jet Speed, the Young Bucks, and Josh Alexander and Harry Chill. But it was after where we got a old familiar wave, Nick.
I don't think you could put more people in a match that I just genuinely don't care about. Holy fuck.
It was after the match that fans went nuts for. After months of being ignored, pissed off Jack Perry would return to attack the Bucks. But as they went for the upper hand and went for the BTE trigger, that devilish grin of Jack's, and the arena went black. We would then learn that it was, in fact, Jack Perry himself who revived Luchasaurus only months ago. And then as the lights reappeared on in the arena, a sold-out Scotiabank arena roared. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know. Luchasaurus would return, put the Young Bucks down. But in a moment that nobody expected, as Jack Perry stared at the weight belt red kill switch, Luchasaurus would rip it off, throw it into the crowd, and hug his now reunited tag team partner with the familiar chords of Tarzan Boy ringing through the arena, and the Jurassic Express is back. But then, in our main event of the night, Hangman Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher would battle it out, with Hangman defending the World Championship, but an added stipulation had been made that Kyle agreed to and signed on the dotted line for. That if any member of the Don Callis family tried to interfere on Kyle's behalf, not only would Fletcher lose the match, not be world champion, but would vacate and be stripped of the TNT championship. A challenge by the Hangman to go it alone to show who he really was. True to his word, Kyle fought alone, even though the Satan virus-looking, circumcised dick-looking, based on the scar on his forehead, Don Callis, at ringside on commentary, with one of the nastiest buckshot lariats I've heard in a while, Hangman picked up the victory. Overall, as usual, AEW delivers. I do have to agree with Blackheart. They need to stop having 12 to 15 matches for a pay-per-view. I think what they could do instead is what they did before the main show. Those couple of matches, have it like a second episode of Collision. Like, do what they did Wednesday with that 3-hour, 1-hour Collision. And then you take the pre-show or whatever the hell that 0 hour, put that on TNT for the hour. And then when the main show starts, you go right to the pay-per-view and HBO Max and whatnot. And for everybody out there, Tony Khan has said he will keep ticket prices low. Fuck you to the WWE for that bullshit. And if you have TNA, I agree. Still $9.99. And if you're a member of HBO Max, you're not paying $60. You can get any AEW pay-per-view you want for free in the archives, and the new ones that come out during the course of the year are $39.99. Harkens back to the WWF days.
Disgusting.
Oh, I know, trust me, but that's not his call.
I know, but disgusting.
That's not a Tony call. That's more of a HBO, Warner, whatever. That's their call. Moreover,
And he should have worked out a better deal, or at least make your own streams. Anything. Come on, man. That's worse than ESPN Plus.
Okay,
I already have to pay $15 for HBO Max. Now I have to pay like another $30, $40 for it. Fuck that.
Well, and that's the thing. That wasn't his call. He was trying to get like a $10 for it.
I genuinely don't care whose call it was. Like, I still hold it up. The same thing with ESPN. That could have been Disney's call for all I care, and it's still fuck Triple H for doing it. Like, you could have found a better deal. You could have went to a different streaming service. AEW wasn't on HBO Max for the longest time, so they decided, like, oh, this is the best deal we could get. Fuck that. Even TNA has their own fucking app. They couldn't have done that.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
I'll explain fuck them, because I just said what I just said. The TNA Plus app has been running for what, like 10 fucking years, and it was like $7, and you're telling me that you now HBO Max was your only option, and you're gonna make me pay $15 a month and then another $40 for your fucking pay-per-view? Fuck off, man. Like, for real. Same thing with ESPN. Fuck off. Wrestling ain't worth that much.
You heard it here from Nick himself, Mr. Nekro on a rant.
I'm good at those.
So am I. I wish I could beat up Stokely, but Cope's wife Beth beat me to it. Yeah, just remember, folks, Stokely is bald, short, can't get no bitches. Just remember that. Not hoes, can't get no bitches. It just sounds funny.
My name is Stokely.
Exactly. Sounds like, well, I know you sometimes get nervous when we're controversial, but fuck it. Sounds like Stokely, if you know what I'm saying. But overall, thoughts about the card itself. What did you think?
Bloated.
Okay, I get that, but certain storylines, do you think everything was covered in terms of where they were, shit like that? If that makes sense.
AEW has storylines? Since when?
According to fans, they do. According to the internet fuckface trolls who live in mama's basement, eat ramen noodles, and can't get laid, even though we are not making fun of ramen noodles, who think they could do better, here's a thought. So I'm going to take the center stage for a moment real quick. Here's a thought to all you motherfuckers who piss and bitch and moan on your little keyboards about AEW and wanting them to go under. You don't need them to go under. You don't want that. Do you really want to go back to the dark times? And all you did was bitch for an alternative, and we fucking got one? Go keep watching your porno, living in mama's basement, and thinking you can do better. Otherwise, go hustle, get the fucking money, and then go start a promotion. And wait just a minute. Hold up. I didn't see this coming.
Wait.
It's the
Necro, I had to
boss.
step in real quick because I'm like, listen, Brody, why are you paying like $15 and $30 just to watch a WWE pay-per-view?
Oh, I ain't paying that much. I ain't paying that much. Hell no.
Do what I do. Pay $4.24 a week for a fucking streaming site. I mean, for a streaming app on your phone. And I can watch all this shit off my fucking phone. And
Yo, send the link. Send the link. Yeah.
Like, why do people want to say, oh, yo, I gotta add this thing, I gotta add this package so I can watch my wrestling? Nah, motherfucker. This is why we have wrestling websites for. Because some people just don't want to go through the hoops and hurdles to be closing down fucking pop-ups and shit like that just so that they can watch. I'm like, listen, I'd rather be on my phone for like an additional minute closing pop-ups so I can actually watch my shit for free. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why people are still really like being jaded by all this shit. These are for like the people that's like mid-senior citizens, that type of shit like that don't know technology that very well. Of course, they'll probably have to pay that stuff, but people like me, Eric, and you, Necro, we don't have to be part of that. I mean, a part of that statistic. You know what I'm saying? So I'll send you the app information, shit like that, and then you'll be like, "Yo, I can watch football and everything else on this shit too, and live TV from my phone."
Yeah?
For $4 a month,
dude.
I'm saying like for $4 a week. For $4 a week, that's like $16. So it's like $16 like a month.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, listen, I'd rather keep that than me having to do the ESPN thing. And I was like, for what?
Fuck the ESPN.
For what? Like
thing.
that's exactly what I did last night. Like when I got on my app, it was right there, Wrestlepalooza. I was like, I don't know why people think like they got to pay for ESPN Plus. What? It's on this app. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers is tripping. But I'm gonna see the screenshot,
Please
Necro,
do.
so you can download this thing and then you'll be like, yo.
Hey, send it to me too, pal.
For legal purposes, I will not say where I stream wrestling.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But yes, don't pay ESPN. I want Disney to feel it. I want ESPN to feel it. And to be honest with you, as much as it's my favorite, I kind of want HBO Max to feel it now a little bit too.
And shout out to the leader of the Pod Mob Network, OTTR. That was Blackheart.
The man.
Also, just gonna put this out there. There are some free VPNs out there. I know somebody who used one. They got to see it for free.
Shout out to Stephanie McMahon for that.
Shout out. Hang on. That's breaking. Hold it.
I just sent that app to you in the messenger and shit. So when you do that and shit like that before football starts, trust me, man, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm deleting cable right now.
Hell yeah.
Hey, don't forget to send that to me too, pal.
It's in the Wrestling Asylum chat, you idiot. Means that both of y'all see it.
It didn't pop through yet.
It should have popped through.
Which one did you send it?
It's the dead last one. What you mean? There's only one Wrestling Asylum chat.
Facebook or IG?
Messenger.
Got it.
Yeah.
We will not be telling people where we go. Just leave it at that.
We'll keep it a secret. Sorry, you guys.
Listen, bro. Listen. Time out. If it's an app, there is no such secret.
Okay.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, right.
And we could also watch All Out there and all the other stuff too.
You can watch live TV. You can watch football, basketball, all that shit on it.
Oh yeah. But shout out
You said it here too, Nick. I mentioned the VPN. Shout out to Stephanie McMahon, because later in the program, I'm going to let you know why. Because a certain legend came to tell her last night she is going to be the first woman in the class of 2026 Hall of Fame. We're going to dig into that in the second half of the program. But I do agree with the both of you. The AEW pay-per-views, I think they're doing what they're doing because of how WWE is.
No. Stop
I think
right
that's
there.
part of it right now.
Wait, hold on. Stop right there. That's not it, right? No. The problem is that Tony Khan loves to add these 0 hour, these little TV specials right before the pay-per-view starts. You add in 3 to 4 matches along with the original card. That's the problem. Now, back in the day, what WWF used to do, they'll have 2 of those story matches as pre-shows, right? And then the rest of the card was part of the main actual card. So it would be like, say, like back in the day, like Backlash would have like 8 matches, right? 2 matches would be like right before the pay-per-view even started, like during the countdown. And then that's when you have the remainder matches that's part of the actual main card that has the biggest story. They go on is projected time during a pay-per-view card. Tony Khan doesn't give a shit. Tony Khan just feels like, okay, I gotta give these people a payday. And that's why you see him booking the crazy matches the way that he always done for literally the past 3.5 to 4 years. He's been doing this shit. He's been doing the same format for 3.5 to 4 years. And that's why you see people like us have to stay away for like 6 whole hours just to watch one AEW pay-per-view. That's a long fucking time.
I liked the idea of what they did yesterday, because I want to play this off at the two of you for a minute. Do you guys remember Sunday Night Heat?
Yes. Of course.
Use that element to your advantage. You have the fucking networks to pull it off. You used TNT to do it yesterday. I say do that. So what
now, okay.
Hang on.
Bring back velocity.
Okay, all right.
Here's what you could do. Hear me out. So we did a 3-hour show on Wednesday, right? 2-hour Dynamite, 1-hour Collision. Here's what you could do. Day of the pay-per-view. Instead of having a 0 hour on the pay-per-view network itself.
Pinky!
1 hour on live TV, have that be the pre-show, have that look like Sunday Night Heat, and then boom. Because that's what they did back in 99 with Fully Loaded before it went live on pay-per-view. And it broke that fucking night, because I can tell you, and I was at that pay-per-view, I had friends of mine the next day at school asking me how was it being at the event, and we'd shoot the shit. The one thing they said was they weren't even thinking about ordering the pay-per-view till they saw Sunday Night Heat leading into it.
That's because back in the day, cable and actual telephones were actually being used to communicate with one another. Now, compared to what we at right here, right now, in 2025, with all the technology boom, the social media boom, and everything the fuck else, of course, people are going to be behind the scenes and be like, yo, I really don't want to watch this pay-per-view. I don't want to pay for it. How can I watch it? You know what I'm saying? And that's how all you guys would do in our chat. I give you guys different links. They'd be like, yo, go to this website, go to this website, go to this website. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all paying for it? You know what I'm saying? But that's how now that whole thing starts happening now, as we was doing it back then, where it was word of mouth. It was really word of mouth, or if you was a vivid fan, you knew what time that you should start. Now, other people, however, will have to wait and kind of see and kind of be convinced, or have to convince their parents about the pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. And of course, that was a lot of money back then. It was like $34.99 for these pay-per-views, for these B plus pay-per-views back in the day. Now the main 4 were like $60 back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So you see why they did it that way compared to what it is now, where it's all technically one big fat price. They just consolidated because they're saying, "Oh, we know that you're not going to watch the B plus pay-per-views like that. You'll probably watch the recap, but I'm pretty sure that you'll buy Survivor Series, you'll buy WrestleMania, you'll buy Royal Rumble, you'll buy SummerSlam, because those are the main 4 cornerstones of that company." Compared to TK, the only main 4 realistically is Revolution, All Out, All In, and y'all can decide. Y'all can decide other 4. Every other ones were B plus pay-per-views.
He ain't wrong.
Thank you. Yes, if people don't know what the hell a landline even fucking was, that was a fucking attached to the fucking wall. You had to really leave that shit in, and you had that long ass fucking stringy cord. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that too. And you want to know what? The early days of internet DSL, and you were like, "Oh, motherfucker."
Nah, you have to wait till someone get off the phone just for you to get on the internet.
God forbid your mother took a fucking phone call.
Oh God, that really.
My mom, hang up the phone. But anyways, but you kind of see where this is going with this whole AEW thing. I think they need to just shade down the matches. Only have storyline matches on your card to illustrate the sticking point of what the pay-per-view name is. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
With me.
And the Costco guys.
What did you guys both
keep bringing them
think
back
the card as a whole?
What'd you say?
What matches as a whole from the show did you guys like or not like?
You really want me to be honest with you? None. All of them were trash. All of them were ass.
From AEW? All of them?
All of them were ass. All of them was exactly what the fuck I expected to be. The only thing that was different was Pac coming back with a haircut. That was it.
We ain't gonna
coming back with a fucking haircut, and I said,
bro, y'all
should have been kicked that motherfucker out when he was gone for months over for a visa issue.
We ain't gonna ignore the homage that I'm not gonna use his new name.
Haircut that he came out with yesterday, that shit was like,
this ain't even about that. This ain't even about that. We're not gonna ignore the homage that Edge, and I'm not gonna call him his new name, that Edge gave to his greatest rival of all time, Jonathan Felix Cena Jr. from West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Just remember one thing, Blackheart. Stokely is bald, short, and can't get no bitches.
I'm pretty sure he got bitches like for the last few weeks after he named that promo.
Maybe. But I'll just say this. What would you have said shocked you? Because I did not see Chris Statlander becoming champion.
What shocked me more, honestly, was Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being back together. I said, thank fucking God y'all did that right. Well, that's the only one thing I said. That was actually the sticking point that I said, okay, cool, that worked. All right, fine. Because Jack Perry was gone for a little while. We did not know what the fuck was really going to happen to him. And we haven't heard a word about Luchasaurus' medical issue that he's been going through for literally like a year. So he's been gone for like that long. Yeah, so we was kind of like, yo, TK, like cut your losses with these guys and just like get rid of them. But because you're saving like a lot of money. I think that was okay. Chris Statlander winning the women's title, I didn't see that coming. But kudos to Tony, give her some time off. That Kyle Fletcher match went way too fucking long. 38 minutes? That shit should be cut down 10 minutes.
Oh, you mean the main event? Yeah,
that shit was way too fucking long. And you guys ain't no Stone Cold Steve Austin. You guys ain't no Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock. No, stop.
Overall, I gotta say,
stop.
Some matches for me personally, I did enjoy. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy getting back together. Thank you, fucking Jesus. You did it the right way. You paid it off. I was kind of happy that the main event didn't have any interference because, I mean, just between us, that gets really overused to me. And I did enjoy it to a degree. I mean, yes, there were things I think they could have, done better. I agree with you. Some matches could be shaved off. A couple couldn't have been. Yeah, she's not wrong. Here's my only thing, and this is just me. All right. In my opinion, I think the coffin match, it didn't need necessarily Pac coming back. I mean, whatever, do what you want to do. I think all the gold needed to be defended totally. You could have saved Eddie Kingston's return. That came out of the blue.
Okay, yeah, right there, Eric, right there. And I'll pause you right there. That match should not be on this motherfucking card last night. That was a fucking embarrassment. Embarrassment. No, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Eddie Kingston fans because I'm an Eddie Kingston fan myself, but that match was ass. It was trash.
We got
absolute trash.
Hang on. Stephen A. Smith wanted to concur.
They are trash. Horrible.
I have to agree with you because
horrible. Big Bill too, man. Yo, listen, man. With your big ass man, you need to go back and do fucking security, bro. Because you cannot wrestle. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Hang
Stop.
on.
In jeans.
So here's what I'm going to say as it pertains to that. You know what you should have done, and this is how I would have booked it. Tell me if you two would have agreed. Pac comes out, gets involved in the coffin match. As John Mox goes to slam the casket, off goes Eddie's music. He gets distracted. Darby pulls off the upset.
That's one way, but I don't think. I really wouldn't think.
Because remember, he's wearing the shirt that said Claudio sucks eggs, so you know he's gunning for them. You know he's just at his friend and going.
Right, but Eric. Right. But Eric, right? It's kind of too late because, right? All right, so here's another analogy, right? Say like you put like a plate of food in your refrigerator, right? And then like, you just forgot all about it.
Yeah, I get the analogy.
Months later, you finally go back in that fridge and then you're like, yo, what the hell is that smell? And then like you open it up, it's that plate of food that like you left and shit. That's Eddie Kingston with AEW.
No, I don't.
AEW put his ass on the bench for so long that we forgot about the motherfucker. But then when you just randomly announced and Big Bill was calling them out, I'm like, yo, why ain't y'all calling the man out during like Collision or during Dynamite, some shit like that? Don't waste it on the pay-per-view where we're gonna be questioning ourselves like y'all brought him back too fast, or y'all brought him back without having that, or him not feeling like he's 100% ready to get in the ring to do what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, if I was Eddie Kingston, I would have put my foot down and be like, yo, don't put me on the pay-per-view. Say that for somebody, say that for a story rivalry that needs to end or that needs to continue on. I'm just one person that's just coming back into the company. And now you're seeing what happened with Hook after the match. You kind of see where he's going with that story. It's like him and Hook, they're going to be a tag team.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though, too. Okay? We know there is some very massive friction between Eddie and Mox and the shit Mox is doing. And it was teased before he left. Something needs to be dealt with there as well. There are,
Eric, some storylines do get scrapped. You know that, right? You know that, right? I say, some storylines do get scrapped because it just don't work.
Well, that or you get hurt. And I think that was originally going to be the case. And
that too, but also the fact that Eddie Kingston's story with Moxley fucking diminished because you see what Moxley was doing for Livy the past year.
Almost 12
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, so you're not going to reheat up something and be like, okay, let's finish this thing off. No, you're not going to do that. Keep this shit hot or stop it. If the rivalry loses its momentum because of someone being gone or it's not clicking well, drop it. That's it.
I will give this out of a 10. I'll give them a 6.5 because of
you're being too goddamn generous.
You're
being too goddamn generous, bro.
Are we talking about the same match?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Nekro.
Overall cards.
Like a 6.
Yo, Nekro, wait, Nekro, right? All right, Nekro. You remember when you remember how me and you first met, right? You remember how me and you first met?
Yes, sir.
What was the one match that we talked about for nearly like a fucking hour that we both said it was ass, it was trash, and that's how we became like best friends?
Oh, fuck. Tell
what
me
was that one match that you and I, we was going back and fucking forward, and Matt was like, yo, man, get back to work and that type of shit.
It wasn't.
It was like first day being there.
We weren't talking about Eddie Kingston day one.
No. We was talking about someone else in WWE that we both hate that we was like, yo, you too? And that blah, 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 blah. And that's how we was like, yo, this is going to work.
That doesn't narrow it down at all because there's a lot of people in WWE that I hate.
But you see where this is going, Eric. So basically, you see what that. You see what that was going.
You gotta tell me now. You gotta tell me what it was.
I think it was either Charlotte Flair or Nia Jax or somebody back in 2019. That was like we was like, yo, bro, it's like she needs to get off the TV screen.
That sounds like me.
We were so angry with her.
Hey, my hole.
Wow, yeah, that definitely sounds like me.
Oh God! But hold on. To wrap up the card, I'm only giving them that because they always give their best effort in the matches, even though there were a bunch of them that just shit the bed. But to me, yes, there's a lot of room that needs to be fixed. I will say this. You paid off one or two key storylines. I'm not going to argue that. Eddie should have been more involved in the coffin match. No doubt about it. I thought him versus Big Bill, this was me during that match. Watch this shit. Even though I love Eddie, I looked like Al Bundy. One hand right here going, yeah, Eddie gonna win this.
No, Eddie Kingston looked like a backyard again.
Huh?
No, I said Eddie Kingston looked like a backyard again yesterday. That's why I was saying like, it was trash.
No, I don't disagree with you. I'm saying in general, Eddie should have been not in a match. He should have been more of show up during Moxley and Darby and call out Mox and go, motherfucker, you and I need to talk. You got a problem and I'm pissed. Because he tweeted it right before Hangman beat him. I think it was Moxley's last defense before he would face Hangman here in Texas. He said, I don't know what the fuck Mox is doing. I don't like it. Whoever steps up better beat the shit out of him. And he ended it with, Claudio, when I come back, your ass is mine.
We've been ping-ponging around here with a bunch of different stuff, but I just wanted to point out just a couple of comments that stuck out to me, and we can go on from there if that's cool with you. One that stuck out for me from our homeboy David was, thank you for agreeing with me. WWE wasn't thinking straight putting the pay-per-view on ESPN for $30. I want whatever Nick Khan is smoking. Personally, I want whatever Tony Khan is snorting, but I get what you're saying there, bud.
Remember, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
And we will definitely get into this a little bit later. That's the plan of the show. But Alyssa saying All Out was better than Wrestlepalooza. I concur hard. I agree 110%.
And we are going to take a commercial break, folks, because we just dove into a lot. But when we come back, you better have your libations, a morning blunt, whatever. Because not only are we going to talk about what happened last night at Wrestlepalooza. Oh, my God. Somebody get me an 8-ball and 4 doobies.
You don't even snort, man. Stop playing with these man. You don't even snort. Stop playing with these people, Eric.
That's instantly how I knew.
Stop lying.
No one at parties goes get me an 8-ball.
Time, man. I knew something was off. I knew something was off with Eric.
But when we get back, not only are we going to talk about wrestling.
Hey, Eric, how much does an 8-ball go for, bud?
Especially down there in Dallas. It's gotta be cheap. So you guys are the drug capital. You guys are the drug mule down there.
Yeah, how much you guys charging down there?
No comments, Your Honor.
We might need to take a trip.
Oh my God. Just use his ass as a mule.
But in all seriousness, after the break, not only are you going to want to stick around for us to shit all over Wrestlepalooza, but we are then going to proceed to talk about one of the fucking funniest storylines in all of professional wrestling history. The bastard child of Vince Kennedy McMahon, a.k.a. Hornswoggle. I hope you all join us after the commercial break. Yeah, this one's going to be funnier than a motherfucker. So,
oh, wait, Eric. I actually pulled a U yesterday, right? I pulled a U yesterday while I was at Luigi's Pizzeria in Revere. Shout out to Justin, shout out to JP, shout out to his whole entire fucking family. They treated me and Big JP like royalty yesterday. So we was getting treated like princes and kings last night. And I pulled a U when I was doing the interview with them, and then I was like, oh, I can hear Eric's voice in my head right now when I say this next sentence. But boom, and then I said like some weird shit that I was like, this is Eric talking to me right now. I was like, shout to Eric. Watch his Wrestling Asylum tomorrow along with Nick Nekro tomorrow at 11 a.m. on the dot right before football. And you'd be shocked to find some weird shit that I said yesterday.
Okay. But folks, it's that time. Go get your break in, because after the break, yeah, we're going to shit all over Wrestlepalooza. You do not want to miss this. It's Nick Nekro and our boy Shiz, the commissioner, the boss of the OTTR network. Come join us after the break, because it's time to take a shit all over Wrestlepalooza. You're not going to want to miss this. Stick around, baby. I think you're going to like what we got to say.
Greetings! It is I, the technical alchemist, David Mercury, and I'm bringing a special message to you. Listen in to OTTR, Off the Top Rope Broadcast, yeah!
Hey, yo, this is your friendly neighborhood Red Dogs here, eating pizza. No, not from Pizza Hut, not from, any other place. From Luigi's. That's the place that we going to. That's the place we eating at. See, the camera's not even on me no more. So, as your friendly neighborhood Red Dog and your favorite mercenary, I approve of set pizza.
Yeah. It's the beast they couldn't change.
On October 24th, 2025, Lynn, Massachusetts, at Halloween Chaos. The Big Dog, Worcester's favorite canine, the Wild Hound, Johnny Canine, enters the Deadly Seven. And the Big Dog enters number 1. So it don't matter who enters. It don't matter who gets involved. The Wild Hound will be on top. And you will get future opportunities. Welcome to the Dog Town.
This is Dog Wild.
October 24th, Supernova Wrestling, Halloween Chaos, race banning, second entry for the title shot of my achievement. All they have to do is try to survive me while I'm lurking through the shadows.
Now you can get in shape with the greatest wrestling superstar in the world. It's the Warrior Workout. Work out with the former heavyweight champion and the most dedicated man on the planet. Learn how to get rid of those extra pounds or tone and tighten up your body. Whether it's adding strength or increasing your stamina, the Warrior Workout is for you. Now you can get your Warrior Workout video by ordering now. Get in shape with the greatest video workout tape ever made. It's yours, the Warrior Workout video. Order now.
And folks, we are back after the break.
I'm still here.
The boss is still in the building. But before we get underway, I gotta say this. Hunter. Why? Just why? Mother. Let's go into it, shall we? It's your show. Wrestlepalooza debuting live on ESPN. And to kick it off, we would have a tag team match between the Bronsons and the Usos. You would have Io Sky and Stephanie Vacquier duking it out for the Women's World Championship after Naomi announced she is with child. Shout out to Naomi. Drew McIntyre would try to take a shot, hey, Christy, at Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I don't know. We're going to shit all over this. John Cena tried to finally beat the biggest rival he's ever faced and only has one W on back in 2012 at Extreme Rules. Brock Lesnar, John Cena. We'd finally see if CM Punk and the returning AJ Lee would shut Seth Rollins and that bitch-ass Becky Lynch the fuck up. And that, folks, was the card for Wrestlepalooza. I'm just going to give the results, and then let's shit all over it. So, in opening the show, Pat McAfee would return to a roaring crowd in his hometown. Shout out to Pat McAfee from doing College Game Day to showing up for that. Everybody's thinking, oh, he's not coming back. Motherfucker, do you all not know he's got a goddamn deal where he's there from late January to mid-August, June or July, and then gets ready for college football? McFly, anybody fucking home? So here's how the results broke down. Brock Lesnar got introduced by him and reunited Paul Heyman. It took 3 F5s and a bunch of visits to Suplex City for Cena to lose. Brock Lesnar wins. LA Knight was named the guest referee. The Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker defeated the Usos. Jay got busted open during the match. I thought it was solid, although wrong victory. We'll get to that in a minute. After Naomi vacated the Women's World Championship weeks ago, we were supposed to get a match with them back at the Clash of Paris, but as I said previously, Naomi is with child. Shout out to the future mama-to-be. Proceed with caution. If you know, you know. Stephanie Vacquier finally pulls it off, and she wins the Women's World Championship in a hell of a fight against Io Sky. I am glad it wasn't Io. I would have been pissed. Then we found out via the Dead Man that Stephanie McMahon's going to be going into the Hall of Fame this coming year. Shout out to the $1 billion princess. Daughter. 10 years in the making. AJ Lee and CM Punk finally shut up Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins in a tag match that had all the makings. And all I'm going to say is, why the fuck did Seth and Becky look like a fucking Pop-Tart, Emperor Zurg, or the worst play on 90s teal color in Taco Bell?
They were the Wild Berry Pop-Tart.
Yeah, that too. And then Cody Rhodes defeats Drew McIntyre in a fight for the WWE Championship. He retains. And then during the press conference, Seth confronts Cody. And I'm only thinking, and we talked about it earlier, Blackheart, I have reason to believe this is setting up for Crown Jewel.
It is set up for Crown Jewel, but it's not going to be title for title.
No, the Crown Jewel Championship.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
at first I'm like,
that's what I meant, because you're not going to have a title change in another country like that And if it's a B+ pay-per-view, I won't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I agree.
But I'll go next. The Uso and Braun's match, it was okay. I did not want to see the Usos win it because they need to be their separate selves and separate personas and entities. It was working for them. Now we kind of bring it back, that whole nostalgia feel. I mean, like, we get it. We've been to that stage with them before, but you got to keep them separate, bro. Like, so I understand that what they did was trying to, like, consolidate both interests both interests at once. But to me, Jay's past that now. Jay's past being a tag team. He needs to be his own separate entity, stay far away from his brother. I understand that because of the story, they have to be together. I understand that clearly. But after this, either Jimmy needs to turn heel or Jay needs to turn heel and go off on his own path in his own way.
Right. And breaking last night, this just broke. Giselle Shaw won the winner-take-all. She's now the MLP Canadians Women's Champion and Destiny Women's Champion. That just broke here moments ago from Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
I'm not surprised by that. I'm really not surprised by that. John Cena's? Fuck them kids. Fuck all these fucking kids. Y'all motherfuckers think that you was gonna just feed the beast to fucking just Cena like that? Like, y'all should have learned from back in the day at fucking, what was this? SummerSlam 2014, 2015. How he got smacked around by 16 fucking suplexes and got no offense in. Y'all should have been remember that one, but I digress. So you can't be mad at Brock for all this. This was all Triple H's booking to sell for the next match. So just be forewarned that by the time when you get to Australia, that's when they're gonna have their rubber match. And Cena is going to get his his comeuppance from there.
Right.
Stephanie Fekir winning the women's title. Good call. I was kind of expecting Asuka and Kairi to kind of get involved in the match to kind of steer CEO away from the world title picture for a while and have that grudge match with Asuka. So I was hoping that Asuka would pop up, but then she didn't. So I was like, "Fuck! I guess they're going to save it for Monday Night Raw." I guess. But I digress. The mixed tag match, honestly, I give it a decent grade. I would actually give it a decent B. I give it a decent B because of AJ. I give it a decent B because of Punk playing their roles to a T. But more importantly, as much as I know people always want to throw down on me on Becky Lynch, she made AJ Lee look good last night.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's your job as a heel, to make the babyface look like a come-up-in starving artist or starving artist in a star. That's your job as a heel. So Becky did her job with AJ very well, that she got the fuck over Mega last night. In the main event, I honestly thought Cody was going to drop it because of the Street Fighter filming, that type of shit like that. That's why he wrote off Roman. Maybe Roman's film part will probably take longer than Cody's probably was. So maybe that's the main reason why that you see Roman bringing off of television, but not Cody as of right now. Because if that was the case, you would have dropped the title right now to have him go off and do his thing for Street Fighter and then come back. But unless he already left and done that and finished up before the pay-per-view happened, then that's probably the reason why that they have him still continue on winning the title last night. So, if I were Drew, get your rubber bash in Australia. Probably take it off of there, depending on what happens next. If it's not Drew, I don't know who else is going to come into the fray to take that belt off of Cody if he needs time off or if they need a title change. That's just my theory. So I'm done with my take.
Nick, give us your thoughts.
Honestly, fuck the whole card. Honestly, fuck every single part of it. There's only two things.
I'm like, what is it? Fuck me for?
There's only two things in general. Like, honestly, every other match was a wash. There's only really two, maybe three things that I even want to really talk about when it comes to this. And I guess I'll go in order of importance. One being congratulations to Stephanie Valkyrie. She deserves it. She's been fucking red hot forever now. So she deserves this. I would have thought she would have got like a mid-card title at some point, but no, it's fine. It's honestly, her match with EO was definitely the highlight. Second most important being welcome back AJ Lee. I hope this isn't a one-off. Becky did in fact make her look good, but I also don't see a single flake of ring rust on her either. You know I'm a CM Punk guy, so it's an easy W for me. Now for the important part. I understand what Mr. Blackheart was saying earlier, and that's definitely why the match went the way that it did. But to go off on a little bit of a tangent, which y'all know I'm good at doing.
Hit me with it, Necro. Hit me with it.
When we look back, honestly, we don't even have to talk about just the farewell. We could talk about from like 2016 to the farewell. They have, when we look back on this shit 10 years from now, John Cena's farewell tour, we are going to look at that as the biggest fucking fumble of all time. You had the greatest of all time telling you he has a time limit. We wasted a fuck ton of it on a heel run that amounted to nothing and a storyline that amounted to nothing with Travis Scott and The Rock that amounted to nothing. So that was a waste of half of it. And then we go into these matches that no one asked for. Like, who wanted to see John Cena versus Logan Paul? Who wanted that?
Triple H.
So when we look back, and I know it's not possible. This is the one thing that I will give to WWE and even to AEW. It's not their fault, even though, to be honest with you, as much as I'm a WWE mark, I feel like Tony Khan is a nice enough guy where even though he's one of their top stars, we were just talking about him earlier, I feel like out of respect for John and for John Cena's father, because I've seen John Cena's father at AEW shows, so he's known to be around. The fact that we're going to have John Cena's farewell tour and we have zero chance of seeing him go against Edge, which I think him and Edge should have been both of their final farewell matches. It's a travesty. We're going to look back at this farewell tour. We're always going to remember John Cena fondly, without a doubt. But we're going to look back on this farewell tour, and it's going to be very bittersweet. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. One last thing, and this is because me and Mr. Blackheart are from Massachusetts, so he'll definitely understand what I'm talking about here. The fact, and this one I am holding up to Triple H, the fact that we were supposed to and we were scheduled to have Jonathan Felix Cena Jr.'s from West Newbury, Massachusetts' final match and appearance was supposed to be in Boston. But since they didn't want to pay enough, they gave it to Washington, D.C. instead, and we're getting
Wait. All right. So here's what I found out about that situation, right? I found out that WWE wanted like $7 million for us to host John Cena's Saturday Night Main Event last match at the Garden, right? But Boston didn't want to cough up the price.
How much did
they wanted $7 million. WWE wanted $7 million for us to host Saturday Night Main Event at the Garden. So which means the ticket prices would have been all the way the fuck up to the point where only the rich and the elite probably would have went. And that was the reason why that when they went down to Washington, D.C., they gave them the bid and they bought the bid. That's what happened.
That's ridiculous.
So I literally said this is both our fault and WWE's fault because WWE could have just said, yo, y'all been loyal to us, that type of shit. We'll give you a discount price of like 3.5 mil. They say like 3.5 mil. And we just raised the ticket prices up like 35%. You probably could have gotten away with that. And people still would have showed up. But you wanted $7 million? That means them ticket prices would have been all the way the fuck up. And you're going to have a pretty stacked fucking card in order for you to keep people to stay there. Because as I learned from the indies, if they don't follow, like if they only came to see one wrestler, bro, and you got to put it on as the main event, they're going to stay to that main event to watch that one person come on to wrestle. If that person goes on first, they're leaving.
That is true.
So that's what I found out.
I'm going to say this for what it is. Other than seeing AJ back in the ring, hang on. I know somebody. Oh, shit. Somebody's thinking. And I'll summarize it like this.
They are trash. Horrible.
Hold on. The card as a whole, I think the three of us will agree. It deserves this. No disrespect to Stephanie Vecchia and Io Sky. Great match. I loved it. Stephanie, she's capable. We know how good Io is.
I'll tell you what it doesn't deserve.
All scratching, nap giving vibes. Felt like I was watching a Divas match back in the late 2010s.
Hey, I'll tell you what that pay-per-view doesn't deserve. Fucking $29.99 of my fucking money.
Wait,
shit. Why?
They don't deserve any.
Why would you pay for it? Why would
I didn't pay for that shit.
Oh, I you're saying like, yo, Nekro, man, I taught you
I didn't have to watch it. I just kept up with the highlights on.
That was one of those pay-per-views that, like, if it was on Peacock, back when Peacock was only like $7, I would want my $7 back. That was awful.
Okay. All right. Now I can understand that logic. I'm like, yeah, I want my $7 back too. But I'm like, if it's $7, $7. I mean, I probably wouldn't give a shit about $7. I give a shit about $23 or $25 or $30 than $7.
Yeah, but you know it's so bad when you want your $7 back.
Like, all right, so here's the ideology to this. $7 can buy me a pack of Fontos for me to smoke. $30 is gonna cost me a tray 5. Which one you think that I would give a shit less about?
Damn, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
but you know it's bad when you care about that pack of Fontos, though.
You see, you gotta get the best pack, otherwise you're wasting your money.
Here's what I want to say. Overall, between the two cards, okay? So to all the trolls out there that think you can do better, I'm for this. Tell me if you two agree. How about both companies bring them in and have them book a card? And then, hang on. Let me finish the joke. Okay. As they finish booking the card, we have them both, these people go fuck themselves. How does that sound? So have these trolls come in, book their card, and we can have them all go fuck themselves while we're at it.
Get them.
I want to watch TNA now. I'm switching to TNA.
Listen, no, the TNA right now with the NXT situation, that's one-sided.
Hold up.
It's been, yeah.
Speaking of, this is breaking before we get to
Bless you.
Pro Wrestling history.
Bless you again.
Yesterday afternoon, I have found out. It has now been discovered that Hunter and I forget the name of the guy that's took over Scott Stamore's spot.
Lee Fittings.
Guess what?
Lee Fittings
preparing to do and finish off a full
Invasion storyline.
And here was where it did get sideways. It wasn't intentional. They did not anticipate the backlash of Trick and JC winning the world titles having a backfire. Didn't expect it. They were hoping it would be the catalyst to see TNA on the attack, not on the defense. Now with Santana challenging Trick and Ash by Elegance, aka Dana Brooke, regaining the Knockouts Championship, they're hoping to regain a little momentum. They're not 100% sure about it, but the idea and the execution, the concept was perfect. I think given the situation, I do agree with you. There was a problem there. No doubt about it. So I think they messed up. So maybe they'll try it again at some point in the not too distant future. Because if Trick retains at Mountain for Glory, I'm promising you. You wait.
No, you gotta remember Tuesday they're doing that whole double title thing that's going on. So basically, what the storyline is going to propel from that main event right there. So whatever the fuck happens, which I think is not going to be a decisive winner, is going to be the TNA locker room coming in to basically start this whole entire fucking thing. And then that's when you have the NXT locker room come out, and that's when the big schmars happen. And that's when the storyline begins.
Oh,
because you did not catch NXT last week on Tuesday, where Obafemi came out and Ricky Saints basically setting up their match for No Mercy. Now, with Trick Williams coming out saying he wants that title, And he's like, and then Open Family's like, you know what? I want your title, and that's how they set it up.
All right. Well, with that being said, we got maybe roughly 15, 20 minutes left of the program. I want to get to this one because I want to hear you two motherfuckers just shit on this so damn bad. We're going to go into a moment in pro wrestling history that is going to make fans either laugh their ass off, shake their head, or go, what in the flying fuck was Vince snorting at the time? And it is Vince McMahon's illegitimate bastard son, Hornswoggle. So for those unfamiliar, let me give you a quick history lesson. During the middle to late summer of 2007, Vince McMahon would find out that he had a illegitimate son during one of his, let's just say, sexual frustration escapades and cheating on Linda, which would include the potential of it being Mr. Kennedy. It would be closer to the end of the summer where we would learn it would get down to Bradshaw, Mr. Kennedy, and Triple H being maybe the genetic jackhammer's son. But as Hunter began to laugh in this photo, we would learn it would be the little bastard, the last cruiserweight champion at the time. You got it, Hornswoggle. As you can tell on Vince's face that night, with Hunter just laughing because he knows this is bullshit, Vince is going, what the fuck? In the weeks ahead, Vince would try to convince Hornswoggle to stop being such a little bastard, clean himself up, look presentable like a McMahon. Eventually, during a match inside a steel cage where Vince basically whooped him and then Bradshaw handcuffed that man, Finley, to the rope, Hornswoggle will get the shit beat out of him not once but twice, which would set up to this Belfast brawl at WrestleMania 24 with Hornswoggle returning after selling for weeks of getting the shit beat out of him by JBL. This had to be one of the most clusterfuck funny bullshit storylines I've seen out of that old man in my whole life.
Hold on.
Before we start all shitting on it,
you got to give respect to where it's due.
I literally got no words for this.
Hold on.
Nope.
You got to give respect to where it's due, though, because like you said Hornswoggle was the cruiserweight champion. As far as I remember, right?
Hang on, Nick.
I think it was the early 2010s. He never lost that Royal Rumble. He never got eliminated. Just saying.
That would be Curtis Axel, sir.
No, Hornswoggle did too.
So hold on a minute. Let's stop with that for a minute. I wanted to finish this though. Can we all admit that Vince going to the borderline with Hunter being the son was the most, wait a minute. If that made, then that was some creepy fucking shit that made me go, seriously, Vince? Seriously, we're going to go to the borderline of the most taboo thing on the planet. Think the Aristocrats joke, okay?
Vince offered the whole incest storyline when Stephanie was pregnant to say that he was the father. So it's not like nothing new.
I still wanted to vomit with that.
It just doesn't surprise me
that this was the funniest shit ever in the most dumbest of all ways. Having to admit that the little bastard was from the loins of the self-proclaimed guy with the massive grapefruits, genetic jackhammer, whatever the fuck. Can we all just say this was the funniest shit in the most dumbest way Vince ever gave?
Okay, this is where you know that Vince McMahon was running out of fucking options. He was running out of fucking storyline options, so he just cooked up whatever shit that stuck. So like Vince Russo did back in the day with TNA and WCW, he threw out whatever shit that stuck, and he went with it. And no matter what the circumstances were, he stood behind it. It's exactly what Vince McMahon did with this storyline with Hornswoggle. Now, I think this was what 2008. So this was like a little after
late 2007, 2008.
So this was either right before Chris Benoit's incident or after Chris Benoit's incident.
It was roughly a year after.
So either way, that's when they had to say, okay, we got to dump down some of these edgy storylines and shit like that because the sponsors and blah blah blah, and everything. And that's when you start seeing the disintegration of WWE throughout that time period. Because I remember 2008, I was going into college, so I was already like my mind was elsewhere. So I had like taken a break from watching wrestling for like 3 to 4 years. If it wasn't for my homegirl Caitlin going over her house and seeing about the WWE network, if I would have never knew about that, I would never got back into wrestling again. So shout out to you, Caitlin, for putting me onto the WWE network when I did not know nothing even the fuck about it when I was in college and shit. Now all of a sudden, that's when I was like, oh, okay, WWE smarting the fuck up. They get on the streaming services now. Awesome. But that was when I ran into Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns for the very first time. That's when I got stuck.
One thing, and this plays back to our earlier segment with Wrestlepalooza, there was a sign that says Triple H and TKO are ruining WWE. I'll leave it at that. Take with that what you will. KB is in the chat saying, "What's up, everybody? We're gearing up to."
Well, technically, wait. All right, technically, TKO and Nick Khan are killing WWE, not Triple H. Triple H is just the guy that got to go out there in front of the camera and got to make these announcements. But Nick Khan, and he did that for WrestleMania 43. He would have got chewed the fuck out, or people say, "Oh, it's a great business move." Blah blah blah. Oh blah blah blah. Nick Khan's a fucking genius. But Triple H says it. Oh, we're gonna put his ass on the fucking cross and burn him.
Overall,
Bruce Pritchard is fucking ruining WWE. I don't give a fuck what anyone is saying. He is a shill for Vince McMahon. He is the voice for Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is telling him and feeding him shit through his ears, and that is why we are getting the bullshit storylines we're getting. Don't get me wrong, TKO and Triple H, they may be ruining it for the common consumer, but the storylines, the chosen winners, why did we get to you so many?
What is this fuck me for?
All right, we're good now.
Oh shit!
We're good now.
Wait. No.
G's up, hoes down. If the bitch can't swim, she gon' drown.
Blackheart, you do realize with him doing that, what's coming.
I know that. I know what's inevitably coming, but at the same fucking time, it's dangerous to do that type of shit, to go across the country, to have your WrestleMania in another third world fucking country when technically the law is still fucking behind us. The law is still behind us by another 30 years over there. So no, it's a bad fucking call.
Nick went on a rant. Nick, I loved it, but somebody else has something he wants to say. I think I need to see if he's available. One moment. Hey, Mr. J. Yeah? What do you want to say to me? It's me, dear friend. Now, as you can tell, I'm not in my usual getup. But I gotta say, Hunter, what happened? Did your balls drop off? Did you forget to get them out of Stephanie's purse? Did you even grow a set? Or did they just crawl up into your new vagina because of being TKO's bitch?
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
And well, all I'm gonna say is this. Hunter, you done woke
full of horse.
Guy, you never should have woke up. You thought my new co-host was bad? For my local inmates, I'm going to say this. Triple H, you faced it once. It's time you face the chair once more. Piss me off one more time. And Mr. J is going to appear. So, Mr. Nekro, well done. But you better bring that fire when I strap him in. You just won't know when, kiddies. Now let me go see if Eric's okay. Me coming around here and there, well, you know how he gets.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I feel fine. Did you say what you needed to? Okay, good. And I'm back. Toodles. So shout out to Mr. J for quickly showing up to make it clear that he appreciates his new co-host, as I do. But
so where's Nekro going to come in as the Penguin?
That's the $64 million.
I ain't got enough money for that. I ain't got Penguin money.
Who said Penguin even had money? The Joker
Penguin's
doesn't have
rich.
money.
What do you mean?
The Joker doesn't have no money either. What you mean? All the Gotham villains never had any money. Never had any money.
Mr. Cobblepot was very rich. What are you talking about?
No, his family was rich. He was not.
Yeah, and then he pissed it all away.
Yeah, see?
Joker was just a thief and a psycho.
No, Joker was trying to make it, but then he dipped in that bottle of fucking acid and shit. That's what turned his brain fried and his skin color changed.
That's right. Oh, and this is breaking too. Fans are still to this day, and I just asked a friend of mine this. Do you remember the Hornswoggle storyline? And he goes, yeah. I said, what do your fellow fans think about it that are close to him? He goes, that made me want to vomit. And right now, all I'm going to say is this. I was a mix, although I have to admit, how Hunter laughed his fucking ass off during that, I almost pissed myself that night. I could not.
Because Vince probably told him the storyline and shit, and he probably was at the table laughing his ass off too. It's like, it's stupid, but it's funny.
This is funny, stupid. This is like Beavis and Butt.
It's something like I gotta laugh off it. It's so fucking ridiculous. And like that type of shit that I had no other choice but to laugh.
Nah, that shit was so genuine. That shit was so genuine of a laugh that I'd like to think that he didn't tell Hunter who it was. Like, he might have told him, like, yeah, it's not you, don't worry about it. But, like, yeah, I like to think that he wanted that genuine, rich reaction.
Yeah. Overall, I thought the storyline was fucking hilarious. Like, stupid funny. But
it's unfortunate. It should have went to Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy deserved it, but...
Yeah, and here's a fun fact that not many people know about. He was originally slated to be the big reveal. They had to pivot when he did the shoulder injury and then the shit with going into Cena and Orton mess.
Yeah.
So overall, big mistake. But folks, you know, you want to know what is going to grind my gears this week in professional wrestling? You might want to strap in. You want to know what grinds my gears in pro wrestling? Having two companies competing for viewers with pay-per-view rates. Yes, this harkens back to the days of the Attitude Era, but this is just being one company being petty, thinking that shit don't stink while they're booking a card that not only got two shits and a toilet seat flush, but a monkey humping a football would have been a better use of 3 hours on pay-per-view and would have garnered much more attention while it also flung its feces than what we got with Wrestlepalooza. What also grinds my gears, and I will agree with this, is having a 10 to 15 match card when you could do what they did with Sunday Night Heat and pull that off. What also grinds my gears is having a couple who claim to be a power couple looking like a fucking neon Pop-Tart that was dipped in a vat of, you know, cocaine, heroin, blow, and 3 hits of the most potent acid on the planet. That is a ripoff of the neon teal colors from the 1990s look that Taco Bell used to have. What also grinds yours truly's gears is the fact that we have the most greatest potential to rewrite the worst invasion storyline only to get sidetracked from unintentional backlash. Because let's face it, TNA is thriving after 20 plus years. Nobody gave them a chance, even in their darkest of times. Okay, they reached some of the lowest of lows to where you had to wonder who could save it. And all I'm going to say is, say his name and he appears. Now, if that fucking actually worked on this program, I'd shit my pants. But what also grinds my gears is a talent running his fucking little dick-sucking mouth about Jay Briscoe. And JF, you didn't think for a minute you were going to be bloodied? Motherfucker, you had the audacity to invoke that name and piss off Mark, and you didn't think your penance wasn't coming? Motherfucker, please. You knew it was coming the moment you opened your pie hole, you little dick-sucking prick, and that's from the heart. And you want to know what else grinds my gears? Is the trolls of the IWC, and, you know, we're fans and we're in it to an extent, thinking they could do better. So to play off what I said earlier, here's what we'll do. We'll bring a bunch of you into all these different promotions who think you can do better, and you can book a card. And while you're booking a card, we can have you go fuck yourself while you're at it. You ain't shit. That's from the heart. And lastly, what grinds my gears the most is having certain matches on a card that should not have been, and certain talent should have been involved in other storylines because that's where they should have been and where they belonged because it was logical and made sense. And I'm going to say this. Thank you, KB, for the collection plate. Make sure you add an extra $5 on my behalf. I'll pay you later. Shout out to the Lord and Savior. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We'll leave it at that. But all in all, what grinds my gears the most about all of this is we got the devil's kiss at Wrestlepalooza, and we didn't get this guy celebrate this bullshit.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
And, you know, the mere fact that the old man, the Walt Disney off of Timu, was brilliant enough not to fuck with generational fans, and now TKO is using no lube and shoving the big devil's dildo up their ass. That grinds my gears. So in closing, grind your gears. You heard it here live. I'm pissed. That's what I'm pissed about this week. Big Bill, you big fat bastard. Yes, as Nick alluded to earlier, you suck. Without Enzo, you're still trash. You need to go, as Blackheart said, you need to go back to doing security. I just have one question for Big Bill. I think this sums it up.
Who the fuck are you?
So before we get out of here, because I know we're 10 minutes away, it's Sunday.
One more thing.
It's NFL
and one more thing. Big shout out to Eric the Joker, who actually did the unthinkable last night and won the OTTR Network Championship for the very first time in his prediction career. Congratulations, you bastard.
I want to thank all the people that support.
Now you're actually the top of the food chain.
I want to thank Blackheart for this high honor.
Oh, shut up. Fucking sick.
I'm going to tell you what. I had a hunch on a lot of the matches. Here was the only one that pissed me off was Jay and Jimmy not getting it, because the reality was for the weeks leading up to it, the Braun Breaker and
I can see the Bronze. I can see the Bronze winning the World Tag Team titles down the line. Believe that. They are primed to win them.
That's true.
That's why I said, like,
Christy, I'm ready to go to
win
bed.
it more than them because they need the belts. It'd be sweet for the Usos to take the belts off of them later on down the line, then they get back later. That's fine. This is what sets it up. That's cool.
Oh, absolutely. Overall, there were a few matches on All Out that I was not anticipating to lose, but when I look back at the results of my predictions, I'm like, oh, fuck, now I can figure out why. But it is an honor and a privilege to be your OTTR champion. I will try to defend it with honor, and even if I lose after one defense, I don't give a shit. I get to say I at least got to get there. So thank you. Shout out to my opponent, Big Mike, for the challenge. I am well aware that a certain other former champion is lurking in the wings, and she's salivating to get her hands back on that moniker. Time will tell. But first and foremost, I'm looking at the clock. It's about that time. Folks, I want to thank both Nekro and Blackheart for joining me this week for a very special, long, in-depth breakdown and shitting all over 2 pay-per-views this week. Shitting on the Hornswoggle storyline. Most importantly.
All right, I call you guys back. I'm out.
All right. Thank you for the man. We will catch you on the other half. Thank you so much to him. Nick, never thought the boss would be on. It's been a while since he's been inside this humble abode. It was great to have him. I'm going to say this to you. You are a welcome addition. Your rant earlier forced Joker's hand to come in and say something because he knew you felt the same way. He had to elaborate. I hope that ain't pissed you off, but I'm anticipating one thing. When the time comes, I told you before, oh, the Mistress of Mayhem, welcome. I am letting you know now.
You're a little late, but welcome. We're supposed to wrap up.
She might have been watching and decided not to yet. You never know. We welcome everybody. But folks, I am going to say this. You've been hearing it for the last now 2 weeks. Somebody's antsy. And when I arrive, I think you're all going to like what you see. Because it's going to be the first thing you saw 3 years ago when all this started. But make no mistake. This week was a unique week in wrestling. We got the return of Mr. And I know that made you happy. It made me happy. And oh, this also broke. I don't know if you were paying attention at Homecoming, but a certain now former TNA talent is on the NXT roster. So, Nick, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Man, I don't have thoughts in general. Nothing up here. Just
shooting from the hip, huh?
Every day.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's always a blessing. As for me, I thought everything went well today. We had a great show. We had a pop-up from an unexpected guest, but always welcome in this house, because if it wasn't for him, we would not be doing this. So before we get out of here, I want you again, folks, do us that big favor in the world. Like, share, subscribe, stay notified, Telegraph, Google+, your sister's ass, the Pony Express, you know the rap sheet. Shout out to all our sponsors from W Energy, Swift Energy, Okazi Clothing, Habits 365, and Dream Alive University. Also, shout out to the guys in Boston at Luigi's for their pizza. One day when I get up there to Boston, I'm going to be sure to check it out. In the meantime, I'm looking at that clock. It's about that time. We got to go, because in mere minutes at the top of the hour, it's time for the kickoff. Sunday football is here. And, well, all I got to say is next week, tune in, because I have a unique thought. a what if scenario. What if The Rock never joined the Nation in 97? Where would his career have gone? Would he have still become what he is today? Would he have tanked? We're going to ask ourselves that question next week. We're going to find out what grinds our gears. And above all, and I love this segment, we're going to see what match Nick would like to piss all over next week. I know you're going to have some good ones to choose from. I'm anticipating it. So, in the meantime, that's Nick Nekro. I'm your host, Eric EJ. But keep your eyes peeled because you never know when the other guy's going to pop out. Son of a bitch, not again. Remind me, memo to me, maim him after my meeting, check the chair. Okay. But we are out of time. And don't forget, Black Hearts Angels will be back next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And Friday night, the Mob Men will be tearing it up live here on the OTTR and Hardcore Sports Networks. Don't forget, hit the like, share, subscribe button. Keep up with everything, both OTTR and Hardcore Sports. The partnership's growing. You never know what's going to happen. But, Nick, it is always a pleasure to have you. You're always able to get me through, even when I'm going through that moment of the program. So with that being said, I just want to give you this because in the short time we've worked here, you've earned it.
That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Thank you very much.
Chemistry. I'm glad you joined. So for Mr. Nekro, I am EJ. This is the Wrestling Asylum. And well, wait, I almost well, we don't have that clip right now. But to everybody else who doesn't like us,
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
A big dose of fuck you to anybody that don't like us. So have a good Sunday. Have fun with your loved ones. Enjoy football. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Suck it!
Till next Sunday. Take care, everybody. We are out.